Hello, How To Bob here, and I made this video to show you how to change the oil in a 2005 Honda VTX 1800. We're going to get started here by taking out the filler cap, or the dipstick, if you will. I'm just going to remove that and set it off to the side. We're going to go down underneath the bike, and I'm going to take the drain plug out. It's located on the front of the bike, down at the bottom, the engine facing forward right here. And I'm going to take that off with a 17mm socket. Once I get that loose, I'm going to need to move my drain pan into place, and then I can remove the bolt the rest of the way and let the oil drain out. Okay, now that the oil's drained out, I can go ahead and put my drain bolt back in, and I'm going to want to tighten that up to 29 Newton meters. On the 2005 VTX 1800, there are two drain plugs. The second one is located right in front of the oil filter, right here. So I'll get my 17mm socket and remove that. Once I get that removed, set my oil drain pan under there once I get it loose, and take out the plug, drain it all the way. I can then replace this drain plug. I got a little bit more oil out of this one, and that gets torqued down to 29 Newton meters. Now my oil filter, it's a little tough to get to. You can use a strap wrench, oil filter wrench. I found a pair of channel locks. I got a large pair of channel locks, and I just inch it loose just a little at a time. And once I get a few turns with the channel locks, I can then get my hand on it and get it the rest of the way by hand. Slide my drain pan under there because it's going to start dripping. And then I work it loose all the way. Dump out the oil that's in the oil filter, and I'm going to wipe up the area around where the oil filter goes. And then I want to inspect the area, make sure there's none of the old gasket left on there. Make sure it's nice and clean and flat, no burrs or anything. So everything looks good. I'm going to get my new oil filter, and I want to start out by putting a little bit of oil around the gasket. Just put a thin coat of oil around the gasket, and then I can put my oil filter back on the motorcycle here. And once I get that screwed in, I want to get it hand tight and get it as tight as I can go by my hand. The oil filter should be torqued down to 26 Newton meters of torque. So if you have a torque wrench, you can use that on your oil filter if you feel you need to. Next, I'm going to fill up the crankcase here with 3.7 quarts. It's calling for 10W40, so I'm going to use 3.7. I'll put about 3.5 quarts in, and then I'm going to set the bike up on a level surface, insert my dipstick without threading it in, check the oil level. Looks good, so I'm going to put the dipstick back in, screw the cap on, and I want to start the bike up and run it for a little bit. Let it warm up, get some oil flowing through it, and make sure that everything is sealed off. So now that I've run the bike for a little bit, I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to check my level one more time, make sure everything's good. And it looks like it's good, so I'm going to put my cap back in, and that's how you change the oil in a 2005 Honda VTX 1800. I'm How To Bob. Thanks for watching.